Hello everybody, this is Mr. Longo, and in this video we are going to classify parallelograms from the coordinate plane, and we're going to do that using just slopes in this video. Now I want to let you know that there are many ways to do this. You can do it with 4 slopes of sides and for distances or lengths of sides. You can do this with just distance formula, but the fastest and easiest way to do it is with slopes. So that's what I'm going to focus on for this video. Do not forget you are responsible for knowing your own slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to give you some steps to do this. Step 1 is to find the slope of all 4 sides. So if this is a parallelogram, we have to remember opposite sides need to be parallel, meaning they have the same slope. So for the top, it would be 12 minus 10, which is 2, over 12 minus 4, which is 8. That's going to reduce to 1/4. For this side over here, 12 minus 4 is 8, over 12 minus 10, which is 2. That would reduce to 4. And same thing, this is going to be a slope of 1/4, and this over here is going to end up being a slope of 4 as well. Now all we did was find the slope of all 4 sides. Step 2, you have to find the slope of your diagonals. So if I wanted to find that slope, 12 minus 2 is 10, over 12 minus 2 is 10. 10 over 10 is a slope of 1. If I wanted to go this way, 10 minus 4 is 6, over 4 minus 10 is a negative 6, so 6 over a negative 6 is a negative 1. Okay? So now we have step 1 and step 2. The last thing we have to do is just use the given chart. So you have to remember, parallelograms do not have anything perpendicular. Rectangles have sides that are perpendicular. A rhombus has diagonals that are perpendicular. And a square has both perpendicular sides and perpendicular diagonals. So you have to remember that perpendicular slopes are opposite reciprocals. Okay, so perpendicular means they have opposite reciprocal slopes. So let's look at our sides. Obviously the opposite ones are congruent, or the same, which means they're parallel. When we're talking about perpendicular sides, we're talking about consecutive. So 4 and 1/4, although they are reciprocals, they are not opposite reciprocals. So this is going to fall into the category of no or not perpendicular for sides. So this is either going to be a parallelogram or a rhombus. Now we have to look at the diagonals. The diagonals have a -1 and a +1, which are opposite reciprocals. So the diagonals are perpendicular, but the sides are not. So that's going to be a rhombus. So this right here is a rhombus. Okay, and that's how you use slopes to do this. Now the next 3 examples, I've taken all the slope part out of it because the most important part is, can you just analyze your slopes? And if you can do that with this chart, the next 3 are going to be pretty simple. Okay, you should obviously be able to find slope at any given time. That's why I have taken that part out of these next 3 examples. So at this time, I would like you to pause the video and see if you can analyze these next 3 questions and determine if it's a parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus, square, or none. Give it a shot. Okay, so for number 1, 2/3 and a -3/2 are perpendicular, so our sides are definitely perpendicular, meaning this is a rectangle or a square. Our diagonals are not, so this is going to be a rectangle. Okay, and if it helps, you can say perpendicular sides, no perpendicular diagonals, whatever helps you. Okay, if we look at the next one, we have a -2 and a +1/2 for diagonals, so we do have perpendicular diagonals. And we have -4/5 and a +5/4, so we do have perpendicular sides. So this is a square. A square is the only one that has both perpendicular diagonals and perpendicular sides. Finally, the last example. What we have to do is look at 2 1/3. Those are obviously not perpendicular at all. We have 5 and a -2/3. Those are not perpendicular, but you still have to at least make sure that it is a parallelogram. So our opposite sides are parallel. So that is going to mean we have no perpendicular diagonals or sides, but the opposites are parallel, so this is a parallelogram. Okay? And that's it for this video on classifying parallelograms using coordinates. All you need to know is the slope and how to analyze it with that chart I provided. This is Longo and I'm out. See you, bye.